And another week, another opportunity to share value. Welcome, everybody, to the Conquistador Podcast. My name is Mauricio Garcia. And this is the channel where we share what is really the secrets to build large-scale organizations. And to add the level of value that you deserve, we always have our mentor, our partner, our friend, Hubert Humphrey, who is with us every single day. Hubert, are you there?
I'm here, ready to go for another great week.
How are you today?
I'm doing great, feeling wonderful.
Phenomenal. So compensation models is, we'll talk about that, the compensation plan. The real thing I'm very curious about is what has been, we always talk about many different like leadership concepts, strategies that gravitate around building a large organization, building leaders. But I know the compensation models has really been the driver on things you've done in the past. There's all different kinds of companies building all kinds of different compensation models. And I'm not necessarily talking about getting into how to build necessarily a compensation model, but how you've used it. How did you discover the importance of building a compensation model around the financial industry to build two multi-billion-dollar market cap companies today on our way to a third one here?
Well, great question. One of the first things I'll have to say is that your compensation model has to also is affected by the product lines that you're marketing in whatever industry you're in, because how much commission is available. It depends upon what type of product you're selling in, what kind of industry, and so forth. In the financial services industry, when everything started in A.L. Williams in the beginning with Art Williams and that original comp plan, and as it morphed into a builder's comp plan, it was revolutionary in that the typical insurance comp plan back in many years ago, the commissions were all maybe put out for the producer, just a little bit of an override to maybe a general agent or later a master general agent, and it was just mostly went to the writing agent because it was a linear model, and that was the way most compensation programs were. And even today, most of the traditional industry is still kind of like that. Doesn't really have that many levels for management. But when we set up our compensation plan, it was set up completely different, because and also you were dealing with experienced agents, guys who had been in the industry, licensed sales, and so they're kind of used to bigger commissions, and that was just a paradigm that they were in. Well, when we started back in our industry, in our day, one of the revolutionary things that we did was that we brought in a bunch of new people. We brought in greenies, new professionals into an industry, and most of those people they'd never been licensed before, they'd never been in financial services before, so they were going to learn a new skill. But we were also bringing them in with the dream of building their own team, their own business, and being able to build overrides, not have to be a great personal producer. Now, some of them obviously became great producers down the road, but they didn't, because we played to the fact that most people don't think they can sell. Most people, the greenies out there, don't think they can be an insurance salesman or financial services salesman. So we didn't go out fishing with that bait. We went out fishing with the opportunity that, hey man, this is something you can do. Just build a team. It's not so much who you know, it's who they know. It's not how much you can sell, but it's the people you can recruit, and you sell a little. Everybody sells a little. And it's the building of a team. So we created a comp plan to fit that paradigm. So I hope you understand what I'm saying there, guys. That was a comp plan designed to revolutionize an industry, and it was designed. And we built all our various companies based upon that premise. Now, in our model, we have been able, because we've been able to get the products and the volume, and the products have evolved, and just the nature of the insurance business. One of the things you'll find about the insurance business is unusual from any other product line, is that most product lines, you're going to be paid when you sell a product. You sell a bottle of this or a can of that or a package of this or 1 month subscription of this or whatever it is you sell in a networking type model. you get paid that commission. Now, if you can get them on auto ship or something like that, then you got a continuous stream of making money. But you don't get an annualization. But by marketing money products in the insurance industry, we were able to get them to annualize. That means that whatever you were going to make for the year, you like 12 months of premiums, they would annualize it. And when we started out way back many years ago, it was 75% advance on submission. And so for greenies, new people getting in, to have 75% advance of what your 9 months of the 12 months you're going to make commissions, that first 12 months you were going to get up front. And of course today we have like 75 and even mostly 100% advance on commission. So you can do that with insurance products, because the traditional insurance industry, when people buy products, they actuarially know how long you're going to live. They know how long you're going to pay premiums, and they're able to go out there and put 2 and 3 years of their profits up front into the creation of a distribution model and getting business on the books. And so it's not ripping off the client. It's just the nature of the financial products allows them to do things called like annualization and put more commissions to get the product sold. And so it's a powerful industry. People have no idea. I think being in the financial services industry and having a big, powerful comp plan like this with all the support we got, I don't know why for 40 years it's still the best kept secret in the world. This is a powerful, powerful machine.
Yeah, I don't know why. Now, a couple of things in here, because what you described and the way I understood it is that traditionally in the financial industry, for let's just say a regular insurance agent, right, getting the advancements of 75% of what the annualized premium would be, or even 100% today, is still not necessarily the main secret to scale and build billion-dollar market cap companies in less than a decade, like you've done, in the past. And so is really providing the new leaders coming in the opportunity to be a general agent. It's like building their agency within an agency. That's really and having a compensation model around that. Now, I'm not saying to give out the full recipe here, but can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Why?
Yeah.
You got the traditional, financial professional here, and then you've got the people that follow your model, compensation model, and they're like night and day. Even though they're in the same industry, they are like night and day. And I see people, generating $50 million in premiums, $5 million to $2, $3, $4 million of income in a year. You don't see that very much on a solo writing agent in the industry. Very hard.
Well, you don't, because one of the things that Art Williams used to say that was a great indicator of how we need to do our business. He said we can replace our greatest salesman with 2 or 3 average and ordinary salesmen. But
powerful.
Our greatest builder is priceless, is irreplaceable. And that means that a builder is somebody that recruits people, and you build a team of lots of people doing a little bit. So here's a couple of the things that we always have done for the last 35 or 40 years in all of our comp plans, is that when we started out the new people, we were able to start them not at the traditional 70-80% of whatever that you had to start most of your licensed guys. We can start them out at 30-40% in that level down there, and then quickly as they go through training, bump them up to 40, 50, 45 or 50, and then as they started to recruit and build and produce, a combination of both. They had to be licensed and know how to sell the product as they come up the line. So we gave them a little training program, and then they were able to get in a position where they could start to override quickly. Then as they started to build up, we'd get them up to like a general agency level, back then we called it RVP, but now it's sort of RMD level. And that's a general they're like a general agent, but really what they are is that they're the leader of a distribution team that they're building. They're building teams of leaders. Our whole motto in our business is to build leaders and teams will come, and we use our system to help these guys be co-leaders with the system, and it helps them build the teams. And so the comp plan, it's all about having the magic of spread or override in a base shop. For example, if you're at 80% in the base shop, and you got a guy down at 30%, that's a 50% override. If you got a guy at 40%, it's 40%. If he moves up to 50, it's 30. 60, it's 20. So, but as the margin, as your spread decreases, it's on more and more volume. So it's corresponding. And then the other part of our comp plan, not only did we have a good base shop, and we ran our base shops sort of as leadership factories, and the compensation was designed for that. And as you produced your equal, most comp plans, most general agency comp plans in the traditional industry, is that you really can't build your own equal, or you're building your competition. In most companies out there for years and years, if you were the top contract, you couldn't allow a guy to come up to your contract. He had to stay subservient to you. And then once he really became your best guy, blah blah blah. Well, he'd haul off and leave and go get a contract with somebody else, or go around you to that company or something, and you'd lose your best person. Here your best people, you want them to be as big as you. They don't. People can get bigger than you, and that won't hurt you, because we have this breakaway generational override system where we produce generations of overrides for guys as guys become like RMD or general agent type people or brokerage people. As they break away, we have an override of them. As they do likewise, we'll have a second generation, a third generation. We have breakaway generational overrides, and we also have some infinity overrides as guys move up into comp level. The RMDs or general agents who can produce 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. As they produce wide, a lot of these general agents, they're going to pick up infinity overrides, and they'll move up on a bigger contract. And the nice thing about our commissions in our system is that it counts for it increases their commission on personal sales. It gives them more spread in their base shop. And it gives them infinity overrides in addition to the generational overrides. So we have a comp plan that's designed for all of that. Plus we have an equity share plan, which is basically a way of building up credits so that down the road they can be able to develop some equity in the company we're doing as they reach a certain level and with us a certain period of time and stay in good standing, and if and when the company is ever profitable over the years, you would always do that. So all those are features that's designed for a builder. So, and then one other major thing is that when you look at a comp plan with a company, the comp plan is telling you the mindset of the people who run the company. What is their mindset? How do they value you? And the comp plan is telling you what they want you to go do and what they're incenting you to go do. If you do these things, you're going to make this money. Now, if you're in the traditional system out there, the comp plan is telling you we're going to pay you this much commission to do what you do, and appreciate you doing it. And all the rest of that money is going someplace else. It's not going to you. In our business, we believe in the J. Paul Getty billionaire formula. He believes that 1% off of the efforts of thousands is better than 100% off my own effort. So we're trying to have the Sam Walton type mentality of smaller margins and put as much as we can out there and make it up in volume. And that's been our model for years, and it's literally helped revolutionize the industry. And plus you got the renewals that go. And the nice thing about the insurance business is that there's trailing in commissions. There's renewals and trails and things of that nature that go on, and those are still put through the pay grid. Everybody from the writing agent and everybody in that hierarchy that helped build that team, if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 generations, everybody gets paid for the lineage. You're building a family, you're building a business family tree, and you're getting the benefit from everybody in your team, and whether it's first year money or whether it's renewals.
Well, so much to be said, really. You just mentioned it revolutionized the industry. I think it revolutionized the way an agent can actually build something of significance instead of just forever be trapped in having to write business from their own pen. but having the opportunity to literally build an agency without having to jump all those different hoops or play the mafia game to be a general agent, right, or master contract, which is hard to do. So you put it very clear.
Mauricio, let me give you a couple of testaments to how powerful these comp plans are, and how powerful the opportunity of this paradigm of bringing new people in, greenies, and building them up into leaders. And of course, everybody you bring in is not going to stay. Some people are just going to stay making part-time money. Some are going to build little teams. Some are going to go on and become career people, and some are going to become superstars, and some are going to fade away. But even the people that fade away, basically they got an education. They usually own some good products, straighten out their finances, and we're there. And some of them, and they have the right to always come back, because we have a revolving door here. You come, you go. You're in business for yourself. If you want to leave, you leave. If you want to stay, you stay. Most people that come in and get to test it, all I can tell you is that you won't know whether or not this is the thing for you or not unless you come test it. So you get to come in here and drive our car, and it doesn't cost you a lot. If you're going to go into most businesses or buy a franchise, you got to go put a lot of money into it. It's a pretty big investment. And you can't go try out a franchise. You just put $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 in it. You go out and start up a big business that you went and borrowed a bunch of money and invested in. You can't try it out here, other than the price of eventually getting an insurance license and a little bit of pre-licensing training and things of that nature. There's almost no physical investment other than your time. So this is a great business. I mean, here I am. I started. It cost me $15 to join A.O. Williams with a little deal, and got a little conditional temporary license, and later got my license. And I've made millions and millions of dollars over the years in all these giant businesses because I spent $15. Now, down the road, I had to spend some money as I built my business, and airline travel and office expenses as I built my business. But even then, by then, I'm making a fortune by the time I'm through testing. So it's a tremendous business to do, to be able to do that. But here's the real testament. Here we've got 40. What is that? 42 or 3 years since A.L. Williams was started. Still sits there as Primerica today, $6 billion market cap company. A lot of my peers are still over there. They still make their $2 and $3 and $4 and $5 and $6 and $7 million a year. And they've been there a long time, and those hierarchies are still. The company's still growing. You look at World Marketing Alliance, which became World Financial Group Transamerica, sits there part of the Aegon Empire. It's a $2 or $3 trillion, a $1 billion market cap company. It sits out there, and a lot of the great leaders and friends that built those big hierarchies, Swan Wynn's still out there making millions of dollars a year, 25, 30 years later. And you don't see that, and it's not just those guys. You look down in there, there's thousands of these guys. I could go over to Primerica today, and I could see people that I knew 40 years ago still over there making $50,000, $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, $500,000, whatever it is. It's their careers. They stay. Now, not everybody stays, but it sorts them out, and good people stay because the comp plans are tremendous. And you just don't see that in the traditional industry out there. You see some people hang around and sell, but the good salesman can sell good enough. They're strong enough. They're up in the high market. Usually the career salesman, and I think you know this, the career salesman in the insurance industry that can make it, or that 2 or 3%, they go after the the 5% slice of the pie, the high income people.
Right.
And they go out there and they're able to deal with the doctors and the lawyers and the architects and the high-level business people, and they sell bigger policies, bigger premiums, make big money, get a pretty good block of business, and they'll work 3 or 4 months a year, and they'll play 4, 5, 6 months a year, and then after 5, 6, 7 years, they've made enough money, they retire. You just don't see guys staying in the general agency kind of business long time. It's a few that do it. But our model, you got thousands and thousands of people that are still over there. Even I know part-timers that are still part-time 40 years later over there doing some of these businesses because the comp plan makes them money and it allows them that luxury.
So much to be said. I want to open a parenthesis and also just share a couple of things. One is that those people that you mentioned are still making millions of dollars annually. after 30, 40 years is makes, to me, it's just common sense that if anybody's making that kind of money, it's because they have a lot of people in their organizations also making a lot of money. It keeps them motivated. Everybody's motivated to go out there and take advantage of the opportunity. And on the other side is, yes, thanks to a model like this, what I see, because I know the industry, I've been in it for 20 years, and half of that has been really in the traditional side. And to really, begin to work and attract the high net worth clients, it's not going to happen overnight. It's really not. So that's why a lot of people that go at it that route, the percentage of failure is very, very high. And so with a model like this, where you have everybody's motivated, right? It's part of the compensation model. It's like you got the people that is bringing you to the business is invested. It is in their best interest to lead you to be successful. So it's like you have the whole teaching, the whole leadership is paid for by the compensation system. And that's what I basically see. How do you grow from a little group of just a few leaders to what, 2 million people that's come to the system? Maybe more than that.
But that's the key. The key is these guys these guys build up and build a good income, they get to control their time. You get quality of life in a business like this, because trust me, these guys, they've been there 30 and 40 years. Some of them 20, 25 years. They're not working real hard. Trust me, I know those guys. They live a good life. They've got great families. They get to go where they play where they work where they play, they do what they want to do. But because they're building teams and getting over, the power of overrides gives you quality of life. Mm-hmm. That's something that the traditional industry is pretty weak in. It's not big in the override world, and it's only for the star producers who have to work hard, and then they get their money and they kind of ease on out of the business because they've made plenty of money. But our business lets you stay in because you don't have. I mean, you put out effort. You're still doing things, but when you got a big team of people, you can lead them, and you can make overrides off of. It's just a great thing. I can tell you that.
And you know what? I want to one of the things I wanted to mention, and I know it's probably not part of the compensation plan, and that's why I said I'm going to open a parenthesis to say this, because I see on social media, there's a lot of people that look at an opportunity as an example. An opportunity is an opportunity, and it depends on you, how you're going to take advantage of the opportunity. And, there's just, a lot of maybe narrow-minded people limiting in their, in somehow in their paradigm, that they see an opportunity, and it's like the opportunity has to guarantee them the success, and nothing out there can guarantee you a success, right? And so that's just basically adding to what you were saying about, there is people that come into business, and many people are not going to stay. But that's not because the compensation or the business model, there's anything wrong with it, but it's just probably the individual coming in the business, they aren't going to seize the opportunity for its maximum potential.
Well, if you look at a tree, if you see big trees growing, the strength of that tree is really the root structure up under the ground. And if you go and get like down in central Macon, Georgia, where I came from originally and grew up, a lot of pecan trees are down there. Well, they don't have any roots. They're just kind of sitting on top of the ground. They got some great peanuts, pecans and all there. But you let one of those tornadoes come through Macon, Georgia, and next thing you know, all the pecan trees are laying flat on the ground because they had no roots. Mm-hmm. But you go out to Florida, you go out to you look at oak trees, and they're much more rooted. They're not going to blow down. Or you go out to the giant sequoias out there, where not only are there roots in the ground, but their roots are intertwined with each other. You'd have to blow the whole forest down. You couldn't blow a sequoia tree down. You'd have to blow hundreds and thousands of them down because they're all intertwined with their root networks. And so building our type of business model builds roots that last. If you build in a company to last, you got to build a compensation that'll reward people, and everybody in the food chain is rewarded proportionately. So awesome. This is only in financial services, and only in this type of model is it self-replicating, self-training, but it's also self-financed, because you're in business for yourself but not by yourself, and the compensation program is financing you as the entrepreneur to build a business, and then you got all the support network of the supporting company. That's what we've done when we built A.L. Williams, all these companies. We built this universe where you didn't have to do all that stuff. You just had to do the main thing of running a prospecting, contacting, recruiting, building, training, and motivation system, and let the overrides and let all the other detailed stuff be done by somebody else. That's a big deal.
Well, thank you for all of that, Hubert. We're going to have to leave it there for this session. If you want to know what is the best kept secret for the last 40 years, if not more, of where you have the biggest opportunity and the most potential to become a millionaire, go check out the Hegemon Group International Opportunity by going to HCIopportunity.com. That is the link. That's the website name, where there is a full presentation of what this powerful opportunity is. I say is the best opportunity in America today. You need to check it out right now by going to HCIopportunity.com. If you are watching us on YouTube, please like, share. Let's get the algorithm to naturally spread this type of message out there to the driven, determined dreamers that are navigating the internet right now. And if you are listening to us on any of the podcast platforms, also make sure to share to your friends and to everybody that you know is out there, is somebody who's in business, somebody who is entrepreneurial minded, that can benefit from the things that we talk about here at the Conquistador Podcast. Hubert, as always, it's been a pleasure. Learned a lot. Thank you so much for all the value you add, and I hope to see you tomorrow, sir. Take care.
All right, see you then. Take care.
Warning, this podcast may change the way you think about business, entrepreneurship, and money forever. The Conquistador Podcast was created for dreamers, entrepreneurs, and leaders who want to conquer their future. To be an epic entrepreneur, you must adopt the right mental paradigms as well as master the art of selling, marketing, and finance.